Good morning, Anush. Send the link in the group, beta. Good morning, Sarthak. Send the link in the group, beta. Tell everyone to join. Okay. Now, last class we were talking about last class. Madhumita, good morning. Beta Nitin, good morning. Last class, what we were talking about? Last class we were totally talking about small works, and that is like what is gene, what is alleles, what is genome, chromosomes, everything we discussed about. Okay. So now we have already seen that gene, genome, alleles, everything. Nandini, good morning. Mustafa, good morning. Now what we are going to do, last class we were totally focusing about gene, genome, and after that we are exactly going to understand what is homozygous and heterozygous. See, homozygous, heterozygous, that is not a very big thing. Homozygous, heterozygous means, I told you, na, pure bloodline. If you might have been understanding it like this, then understand that when both the alleles are same, it will be exactly going for homozygous. So you see that sister chromatids in that same place, same either dominant trait is there or either recessive trait is there. So homozygous means what? You see dominant trait B and B. Capital is always represented as dominant trait. Small letter is always represented as recessive trait. Send the link in the group and tell everyone to join, beta. So dominant is exactly what? The one which is dominant is one the which will be picked by the child. Okay, so always in another way we can say that key dominant will be always taken. Dominant will be what? Dominant will be always taken. So now here homozygous and heterozygous, if we want to understand, so here we have to understand it as like both the, you see here the locus point is same, the character is same, and both are dominant. So here also, this is Akshay, good morning beta. So this is pure line. If you are going to check this one out, this is exactly called as pure line. But here, if you will see, in the same locus point, one is dominant and one is recessive. In the pure line, one is dominant and one is recessive. This also dominant recessive. This is again homozygous, where both the locus point means both the location where the character or the gene is located, the alleles are same. Okay, here the allele is recessive allele and here the allele is dominant allele. The allele is recessive allele. Okay, auntie, you said black is dominant, so all should have black, right? We some have other hair colors. Some have other hair colors because the recessive trait pair will be coming, na Akshaya? The recessive trait pair will be coming. Recessive trait pair will be coming, na beta. We know na ki when recessive will be picked, when their pair will be present. Recessive will be picked when their pair will be picked. Okay, so when the pair will be picked, that content will come as recessive. That will come as what? That will come under recessive. That is important. Understood. So both parent don't have black hairs. Both parent don't have black hairs. Both have recessive traits. Both have recessive traits. Okay. But you know that thousands of genes are present. Thousands of genes are present. Thousands of genes are present that will be picked from ancestors also. So many of the genes are picked from ancestors also. Okay. So that time also you can say, did anybody send the link in the group? Because these sleeping monsters has to be woken up. Okay. Akshay is there, Nandini is there, Mustafa is there, Nitin is there, Anush and Sarthak. Fine. Very good. Direct taking enmity from me. Now look here, beta. Now we are going to understand which characters are dominant. Now look here. Some of the dominant part is there. Now we are going to check the dominant, some of the dominant trait. So last class, gene we have already discussed, gene definition I have already given to you. Now after that, we were talking about dominant and recessive traits. So look here, alleles, two forms of same gene that control the same characteristics of an organism are called alleles. Two forms of same gene. Two forms of same gene means different forms of same gene that is exactly controlling the same characteristics of an organism. It is doing what? It is controlling the same characteristics of an organism that is exactly called as alleles. Yesterday itself we have understood now the gene is exactly presenting like hair color, and the allele will be different. The different alleles will be there, and from that different alleles everything will be picked. I hope you might have understood this part. So now beta, we are going to understand that the alleles of tallness is represented by letter capital T and the alleles of dwarfness is represented by letter T. So that means two things are there. The alleles of tallness is represented by letter T. That means two different alleles are there, one capital T, one small t. The one which is, acha, today holiday is there na? Oh, holiday, so how they will wake up in morning? I forgot. Today holiday is there. So how my children will be able to wake up? Beta, send the link only in the group. Hi, Kamya woke up. Good morning, Kamya. Good morning, Renu. You woke up? Both of you. See, these two children woke up. Wait. So now, what and all are the dominant traits? There are certain dominant traits are there, beta. That is exactly, there are certain dominant traits. Like, just check this one out. Hair, then either hair will be curly or will be straight. The one which is dominant is curly. So you might have seen that many people, most of the people, they are exactly having curly type of hair. Straight hair is very less people having. Skin color, normal color, albino. That is the normal color is that, and albino is there. Earlobes, free earlobes. This is exactly dominant. The one which I am having is dominant. Free earlobes are dominant. And attached earlobes are recessive. So only you will be seeing that most of the people, they have free earlobes and the attached one will be dominant. Eyes, brown or black eyes and blue eyes. You might be seeing that most of the people, either they have brown eyes or they have black eyes. Blue eyes, green eyes, very, very rare you will be seeing. Okay, because they are what? They are recessive trait. Tongue rolling. That is ability to roll, inability to roll. So ability to roll means many people now, they have the ability to roll their tongue. Now after class you try this one, huh? Akshaya, my father has curly, mom straight, I am having straight. Why did recessive get picked, auntie? Recessive are getting picked when it will be in pair. Recessive will be exactly. So your father will be having hair color one dominant and one recessive. Fine. And your mother will have both recessive. And exactly what happened, father recessive and mother recessive both came, and because of that your hair is exactly coming as straight. Otherwise it might have been curly. Okay. My mother hair, my father hair is exactly straight. My mother hair is also straight. But I don't know what happens. My hair will be half straight, half curly. The moment it will go to certain height, it will turn like this. I just want to straight it, but it will turn like this. What to do? That is exactly one of the character. That is exactly one of the picked character. Okay. Now look here, beta. Homologous chromosomes. Now we know already, you see by color content we try to understand that कि what is called as homologous chromosome. If you will see that both the chromosomes are exactly looking identical, and whatever alleles are there, the alleles are exactly located in the perfect locations. That will be exactly, yes, the hair is exactly rough hair, waist hair. Yes, Renu. Me also, I don't know from where. Means going straight and going out. Now, homologous chromosomes. It is a mixture of recessive, dominant, recessive, dominant. Okay, my hair is mixture of recessive, dominant, recessive, dominant. Now look here, homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes, already we have seen, in that we have seen that chromosomes pair of approximately same length, chromosomes, that is centromere position and straining pattern, with genes for the same characteristics and the corresponding loci. You see, they are exactly localized, and loci means they are exactly pattern, everything will be exactly same. They are exactly called as what? They are called as homologous. In an organism, one homologous chromosome is inherited from mother and other from father. So now just imagine that it is a carbon copy. It is a carbon copy, pure line. That is exactly called as pure line. Now you see here, both loci points, whatever characters, alleles are present, the alleles or the bands are exactly identical. When identical will be there, it will be called as homologous. Identical means, yesterday itself we saw na ki dominant dominant, and here also dominant dominant. So that means it will be 100% going for what? It will be 100% going for 100% going for pure line. That is what we have used now. Genome also last class we have seen, and genome type we have seen one very important thing, that the total number of gene present in haploid set of chromosomes or gametes, haploid, the total number of chromosomes present in the haploid set, haploid, diploid. Okay, so total number of chromosomes that will be present in haploid, total number of chromosomes that will be present in haploid, so that it will get converted into diploid. Understood? So this is what the total number of genes present in the haploid set of chromosomes. Genes present in haploid set of chromosomes. Total number of genes present in haploid set of chromosomes. So this is what last class we have done. We have seen that total number of genes present in, total number of genes, we were talking about genome now. So what we seen that how much it is exactly, how much total number of genes are exactly present in chromosomes, that will be called as genome. That will be called as what? That will be called as genome. The simple word is genome. What word we are using here? See, no child is born without hair. The most important thing is, no child is born without hair. Okay, everyone is born with hair. Problem is some chemical reaction. It is not genotype. It is exactly a phenotype. That is physical change. Physical change. Now look here, beta. Having hair in head is exactly one of the characteristic. Fine. Blue color, black color, sorry, blue color, I'm saying black color, brown color, white color, that color hairs are exactly the characteristic. Fine. But what happens that there are slight mutations, because we have some chemical content in our body also. So when the chemical content react with the hair follicles, that time itself some because of that now loss of hair will be there, and the person in due course of time will become bald. And the most important thing is, it is said as heredity. Heredity means, if you will see the forehead now, the forehead of the child will be more or less resembling the parents, and if father is losing hair, then 100% son after some time will be losing hair, and that is exactly somewhere coded as a muted part, and that part will be exactly picked by the child. That part is picked by the child. But you will be seeing that if a father is having 4 sons or 4 son and daughter, then you might be seeing that mostly daughters are not having hair fall. Mostly daughters are not having hair fall. Have you ever seen a daughter without hair? No, no. but son is exactly having that hair fall. Son is exactly having. That means it is exactly going from genetically from father to their son. From father to their son. Okay. So this is one of a character which is exactly beta picked along with such slight amount of mutation. Now look here. So that means genome type, when somebody will be talking about, then at the genome type means total number of genes that will be present on a chromosome, that will be called as genome. That will be exactly called as what? Genome. That means genome is one whole set of all gene plus DNA present, and that will be exactly called as what you call genome. But one thing is that it is not diploid. We are only talking about haploid. It is not diploid. We are only talking about haploid. Fine. So now, we are only talking about haploid. So right now itself we have seen homozygous beta. Did we saw the homozygous part of it? A homozygous and heterozygous. Can you give me an example for homozygous and heterozygous? Homozygous and heterozygous. Can you give me, Logita, good morning beta. Can you give me the example of homozygous and heterozygous? Homozygous and heterozygous example. One simple example of homozygous and heterozygous, because right now only we were discussing that in the chromosomes, if both the traits are dominant or both the traits are recessive, then it is exactly called as, is it exactly called as what? Both the traits are both the traits are either dominant or the traits are recessive. Both the traits are either dominant or recessive. It will be very good. So homozygous will be when both the alleles are exactly coming to be, both the alleles are either TT, means both are recessive, and both are exactly when both the alleles are either recessive or dominant, then it will be called as homozygous. Then it will be exactly called as what? Homozygous. Yes beta. Homozygous, both Kamya, Akshaya is absolutely correct. But what is about heterozygous? Heterozygous means what? Heterozygous means one dominant, one recessive. One dominant, one recessive. This is exactly called as heterozygous. What it is called as? Heterozygous. One dominant, one recessive. One dominant, one recessive. Absolutely correct, Kamya. So this is the way through which beta we can understand which one is homozygous, which one is heterozygous. Now there are certain definitions apart from that which we are going to understand. So genome we have understood now. Total set of gene that is present on a chromosome along with DNA, it will be called as genome. But genome is exactly haploid. Genome is haploid set of chromosomes. Haploid set of chromosomes. So only I told you, absolutely correct Sarthak. So haploid set of chromosomes means one trait dominant, one trait recessive. Haploid na? One trait dominant, one trait recessive. Quickly catch my point. Haploid is one trait dominant and one trait recessive, or haploid is single chromosome. Which one is the correct statement? Haploid is single chromosome or one trait dominant, one trait recessive. Pick the correct answer. One trait dominant, one trait recessive. Pick the correct one beta. One trait dominant, one trait recessive. Pick the correct one. Which exactly what is haploid? Haploid is single chromosome. Absolutely correct, Logita. Now we are going to go for the next point, is progeny. What does progeny means? Because that is exactly, progeny is a product. If you are understanding progeny, then just progeny, product, progeny, product. Okay, that is product of the combination of gene. Product of the combination of gene. Okay, so that means what? So when two parents of opposite sex are exactly having a child, the child is exactly called as the product. Okay, or simple progeny. Fine. So the progeny, the offspring produced by mating, is called progeny. In simple, I have given the offspring produced by mating is exactly called as progeny. The offspring produced by mating is called as progeny. That is what, when parents of opposite sex will have parents of opposite sex means male and female, when they will have a child, the child will be called as progeny of the parent. Okay, that is product of that. Okay, so that's why in simple we can say that the offspring produced by mating is called as progeny. Now what is called as factors? So now these are the genes, what is called as factors? So these are the genes located on the chromosomes. Okay, so what they are exactly? They are the genes located on the chromosomes. I don't think it is exactly the correct one. I think some mistake is there in this one. I'll rectify that. So these are the genes located on the chromosomes. Traits will be exactly located there. Fine. Traits will be there. Now next will be locus. I told you na कि when you are watching a chromosome, a quick look on the chromosome you are having, then you are exactly seeing that कि the character which is picked by the child will be exactly present in same location. Then only it will be picked by the picked by the child. So these are exactly called as loci. Loci means localization in the chromosomes from where the genes are exactly picked. In simple, I am just explaining the place which is exactly, because here and here it will not be picked. So if the band will be up and this band will be down, it will not be picked. So what you have to do is you have to exactly pick the character from the same locus point. The locus point from the same locus. Same locus means same location. So either that location will have both dominant, both recessive. Okay, if it is picking is going on, if they are exactly crossing over and the picking is going on, the character will be picked from the same place. That is the locus one. We are calling it as locus. What we are calling it as, beta? We are calling it as locus. Now we are going to talk about alleles. Alleles, we have much talked about alleles. They are specific characters, either capital T. Alleles are denoted by capital T or small t. So they are exactly what it represents two alternate form of unit factor, that is, or a gene. So we already know now alleles are two different type of genes. When one common will be exactly picked, we already discussed it. So I'm not going to talk about homozygous or homozygous and heterozygous. So homozygous means what? Homozygous, other name is homozygote. Okay, so if anywhere you will be finding this word zygous or zygote, then that is not two different thing, beta, that is same. Homozygous or homozygote, it is exactly not two different thing, that is same. So homozygous or homozygote means individual with identical alleles. That is what already you have said. Now identical alleles can be capital T, small t. It is exactly called as identical alleles. Now next is heterozygous or heterozygote. Homozygous, homozygote, you understood? Same alleles will be there, either both small letter or both capital letter. So it will be called as homozygous or homozygote. But the one where you will be seeing one small letter, one capital letter, it will be exactly the different type of alleles that will be presenting a particular type of gene, that is exactly called as heterozygote. Heterozygote or zygous. Zygote or zygous. Auntie, can you say me that TT and TT, where and how we would identify that? See, look here. Right now itself, Akshaya has discussed a very simple thing. And it is exactly, just 1 minute. Exactly, Akshay discussed a very important point there with a very simple question. She has exactly understood a very important part. Now just understand, Sarthak, you will be able to see the difference in the child itself. Different characters will be there and some of the characters will be picked. That will be exactly like dominant or recessive. Like Akshay has said that my father is having curly hair, my mother is having straight hair, I am having straight hair. Right now we have seen that curly hairs are dominant, okay, but we know that, now just understand this, you itself will be able to see and say, so just father is having curly hair, and this C is there, and this is a straight hair, this is curly, okay. Now mother is having both straight hair. Now the chances are this, then the baby will have straight hair, okay. Now father curly hair dominant, and this one will be picked, then the baby hair will be this one. Now that's why ratio is always coming as 3:1. And beta, you have to just understand that your hair will be curly because either you have picked from the pure line or from the heterozygous. Means if it is difficult to know that is it picked from here or is it picked from here, that means father also curly. If father, now understand this one, understand this one very nicely. Now father is having both this one, mother is having both this one, they both are coming from pure line. So now anyone is homozygous or all are heterozygous? Think about it. Absolute Kamya. Anyone is homozygous or all are heterozygous? Come on, see this part and say the answer. Anyone is think that what could be the nature of the hair, where capital C is representing curly, small c is representing straight. So what could be the nature of the hair the child will have? 4 children, and how many children will have curly hair? How many will have exactly straight hair? How many will have curly hair? All are heterozygous, absolute. And if all are heterozygous, that means what could be the pattern of the hair? What could be the all are exactly straight? Absolutely, all are exactly straight. All are straight? Think nicely. Logita, all are heterozygous is absolute correct answer. All are heterozygous is absolute correct answer. But all are exactly going to be straight or curly? Think about it. All are curly hairs. Yes, now it is correct. All are curly hair because curly is dominant. Curly is dominant. And beta, look here. When you will be going for checking for filial generation, that time when we will come to know that if mother is exactly having same character, this part is coming curly hair and both small c will be there, then you have to understand one thing. This will be exactly coming as CEC. This will be again coming as CC. Now this will be coming as chances of having curly hair and chances of having straight hair. What are the chances in percentage? Having curly hair and straight hair. Come on, tell me. So here father, one trait is dominant and another trait is another one is allele, one allele is dominant, another allele is recessive. Here both the alleles are recessive. Then what is the percentage of having 1:1? That is 50% chance of curly hair, 50% chance of straight hair. 50% chance of curly hair, 50% chances of straight hair. So now 50-50 chance we have seen. First one when we have seen that, so just see all that pattern. Sarthak, you will be able to understand. Now look here. So when it will be like this, then we have seen that 100% all will have curly hair. Then when we have seen hetero with homo, hetero with homo, hetero with homo. Previous one we have seen homo with homo. So 100% curly hair. Now hetero with homo, we saw 50% chance of 50-50 chances. 50-50 chances. 50-50 chances. Now both are hetero. Both are hetero. Then say the chance. both are hetero, 50-50 chances. Very good beta, very good. Come here. Now both are hetero beta, both are hetero. Now talk, both are hetero. When both are hetero, then what is the chance? Both are, when both will be hetero, what will be the chance there? Tell me. Three is to 1. Very good. So now Sarthak, are you understanding? So when a character is picked now, that character may be pure or that character may be. So now look here. See, look here. That means we have learned a very important lesson here, that curly hair will be seen in 3 child. Okay, just think that this type of crossover has been done, and exactly the child is having 4, father is having a mother, father and mother is having exactly 4 child. Now which one will be exactly picked? Now just see this one here. You see that total, see, from a hetero, from both hetero, we got 2 pure homozygous. You see, here we got 2 pure homozygous and we got 2 heterozygous. We got 2 homozygous, we got 2 heterozygous. Now that is exactly bit a different crossover will be there, Sarthak. Now you see, but you know what, you will not be able to know that you are picked as your inside you, which one is that one? Pure line is coming, because now I am having this one. I may have this one, but in both the cases I will have curly hair. Are you understanding, Sarthak? If I will have this situation, if I will have this situation or this situation, that means 75% chance I am having of having curly hair. So if my father trait is heterozygous, my mother trait is heterozygous, then 75% chance of my hair will be exactly having curly, and 25% chance will be there where my hair will be straight. Did you understood the basic part of it? Basic part of it. Yes, Akshaya. So see, Akshaya has explained this part, that now everybody tell me first, did you understood the most exact important part of it? So exactly what happened in this case? What happened in this case? So 2 situations might have been possible. One situation for Akshaya might have been possible where exactly both homo will be there. If both homo will be there, then 100% Akshaya case will not come, because Akshaya said that auntie, when this situation will be there, like father is having pure dominant, mother is having pure dominant, pure recessive, then you will always be seeing that curly hair is only coming. Curly hair is only coming. That is all, 100% curly hair. 100% curly hair. But when both mother and father is exactly going to be heterozygous, when both will be heterozygous, then you see 75% curly hair. All these 3 are coming as what? All these 3 are coming as curly hair. And 25% is straight hair. Okay, so this is one of the situation. This is one of the situation. So we have seen back to back 2 situations, and then one situation will be coming like this. It is a case when 100% again curly will be coming. It is 100% curly. You see capital C, capital C, capital C, capital C. So again 100% curly. Okay, 100% curly. 100% what is coming? Curly is coming. Now last situation. Recessive is there. Curly, curly, that means these two are recessive, 50% curly, 50% straight. So Akshaya's straight hair is result of which one? Akshaya's straight hair result of this one, or this one, or this one. Which one? First one, second one, third one, and fourth one. Her straight hair is due to yes, that is what Kamya. And that second generation, right now, so I am just talking about like from the parent directly to the child. Okay, we will be going for second generation also. So pure line, we always not denote that pure line, from pure line first generation we are taking, and then the mixed one will be coming for like from parents to the pure line, we will be taking it as first one, and then we are going to go to the second one. So but hair straightness and curl can change everything, but it will not change permanently. There is no permanent part of it. The moment it will be exactly hair straightener and all, it will not work for long, because the correct texture of the hair is coded in your DNA, and how much you will use a beauty parlor or that products, that will exactly do for some time, but after that the DNA will again allow them its time. All the fun is over. Now again the hair will exactly become the same texture. Okay, so that means here the chances are कि either she has picked from 50-50 or she has picked from 75 and 25. So these are the two only options left for having a straight hair. Understood? From having a straight hair, these are the only chances. Either she got 50% chance, when she got 50% chance, when she got 50% chance, when one trait is capital and one trait, when she got 50% chance, when this one is dominant one, when this one is dominant and this one is recessive, and here both side recessive, or other both parents are having dominant and recessive, means hetero. Here hetero is there, here hetero and homo, but homo what type? Recessive type. Homo what type? Recessive type. And because of that she has chance of having that hair. She has chance of having that type of hair. I hope everybody might have understood this point. Come on, quickly tell me. Understood this section? Then we will go for the next part. Sarthak understood. In all the cases you will have curly hair, but you itself will not be knowing that ki right now my hair is curly or right now my hair is straight because of pure recessive or hetero. Homo or hetero you will not be knowing, but chances of having is 75%, 25%, that is 75% what you call 75% curly and 25%. Understood everyone? Sarthak understood? So this was very important point to discuss beta. That means I think till competition and all, you will be able to write in like medical and all examinations ki when you will be writing the content, you will have informations like okay, these things are there, and you will be guiding it very nicely. Yaini, good morning beta. Now look here, recessive. So heterozygous, heterozygote, we have understood recessive allele and dominant allele. So I will tell you Mendel's law of they have Mendel has proposed certain laws. In that laws certain very important pick points are there, but before going to that, I am just going to talk about dominant now. Why dominant can be exactly, why dominant can be capable of existing free, means dominants are always picked. Did you ever thought why dominants are always picked? Why dominants? If dominant is with recessive, why we are only picking dominant? Why we are only picking dominant? Why we are only picking dominant? What makes this possible, that always dominant is exactly getting picked? So if dominant allele is there and recessive allele is there in the same locus of the chromosome, then why we are only picking dominant? Why not recessive? Why not recessive? Because this is also one of a problem na, कि dominant recessive, dominant picked, recessive dominant, dominant picked, dominant dominant, dominant picked, recessive then only recessive picked, recessive then only recessive picked. So what could be the reason behind that dominant and recessive always dominant is picked? Yes, that is what beta. We have always survival of the fittest, you know na. Survival of the fittest. Here what happens na? You have to understand that from the generation, we have to understand that there are certain variations. Just understand. From the generation, the one which started with and the one which will be exactly very strongly taken, that itself becomes dominant. That itself become dominant. That is a very important point to remember. Okay, it's not like that ki dominant father or mother is coming from that line, that means both are having dominant homozygous line. You have to just understand a very simple thing, one, ki from generation, see, we are right now in 2022. Think about 2022. Think about when the life civilization started, everything. That time also parents were having hair, and that times the hair will have a type of texture, curly or straight. Yes or no? That time also mother, father might have been having hair and they were exactly having that texture. So now that texture kept on coming. So sometime that time there were no some variations of having, because from the community only the male and the female were getting picked. So selections were very, very less. Okay, means selections means the selection of a trait were very less. Now what happens? A person from China can get married to a person from Africa. A person from Africa can get married to an Indian. So like this means now it is exactly, the place has become small. So now very high variations can be going inside. But the one from the community coming from a dominant part, which was community to community was coming on, was exactly because we are supposing now all the species are exactly coming from same line. So same line means the line from where it is coming, that time it might have some dominant contents, and that dominant content might have followed for certain generation. Now there is a mix up. Now the mix up is there, but the one which was exactly dominant for certain parts, it is now still picked up. It is now still picked up and they are exactly strongly taken. Okay, it is now still picked up and it is exactly strongly taken. That is a very important point to remember. Now what is called as genotype and what is called as phenotype? When any type of change will be, you can be able to see, means like if you will see that the change means you can see someone's skin color, you can see someone's hair color, you can see someone's hair texture. So that is what, when we can see someone's physical appearance and can have we can be able to give a comment, that time it is phenotype. This is the most simplest example we can have. What is exactly beta phenotype? Means the observable character, the observable character or physical appearance of an organism that are genetically controlled. Here you understand this, I am looking like this because of my genetic control, means my father and mother, what character they have given me, I am looking like because of that only. See, look here, any type of change will be a temporary change. Like last 10 days back I had a long hair, now I exactly cut, but that does not mean that my hair will be exactly going to be like this only. Okay, it will be exactly again going to the same texture. So if I am going to curly my hair, if I am going to straighten my hair, it will be for certain time, after that again, because what is genetically picked will be reflected every time. You can do a temporary change, but the change like, not temporary change like you will be directly thinking about, auntie, accident, haircut, hand cut, that is, haircut is not accident, hand cut auntie. So that is exactly what beta, it is a phenotype, it is a physical appearance change, it is not in the gene. Gene still is telling that human will be born with forelimbs and hind limbs. forelimbs and hind limbs, a pair of forelimbs and a pair of hind limbs. Okay, so that is exactly gene is telling about. That is exactly what is telling about, gene is telling about. Now next is called as genotype. The specific allele or genetic constitution makeup of an organism is exactly, means whatever is present in the DNA, whatever is exactly went for crossover, and which one is exactly coming in the character for a child, that will be reflected as genotype. So genetic change will be genotype and physical appearance change will be phenotype. Whatever physical appearance part will be there, it will be always considered as pheno. Whatever is changes is there in the gene, it will be called as geno. Okay, now change in, yes, somatic change, absolutely correct Akshaya. Now you first I was saying that your answers were going here and there. Now I think but the way you all are answering now it is understandable from my side that somewhat contents you have exactly stored in your brain and you will be able to present it. CB, auntie is old, auntie is having hair fall, so only after COVID I have a high level of hair fall. Whatever left I wanted to save it, so only I went for a haircut. Now genetical terminology. So genetical terminology is like bit of millions, many characters are present, but the one many characters are present. Now many characters are there, but the one which will be exactly picked, that will be exactly representing a child. Fine. So there will be two generation. Mostly now we start generation from we say forefather. Okay, we say actually forefather, but what like my forefather, like this we always used to say, means we start counting from great grandparents to grandparents, then parents, then us. So that is 1 2 3 4 generation. Me, my mother and father, my grandmother, grandfather, grandfather, great grandmother, great grandfather, great grandmother, great grandfather. So that means what, starting from there 4 generation over. Okay, so from great to me 4 generation over, but what we are genetically checking that 2 generation, first generation and second generation. So if my father is first generation, then I will become the second generation. If my grandfather is the first generation, then my father is the second generation. Are you understanding? If my great grandfather is first generation, then my grandfather is second generation. I hope you might have understood. What is the doubt, Kamya? The after birth of offspring, if any physical change is made in parents, then it will not affect. It will not affect. Like before birth, the mother was not having cancer. After that, she got cancer. So it is not going to, because already selection has been made and the child is born. Okay, after the child is born, effect will not be there. Never think about that. So like understand that ki father and mother both are exactly normal. They have a child, the child is normal, and after some time mother got AIDS. So after that mother got AIDS means it is not going to affect the child, because now she, after having AIDS, if she will be having baby, then it might be possible. So after having cancer, if mother might have been having child, that time the chances of, because she will be in chemo means the radioisotopes has been given to kill the cancer cells. I am having school today. Okay, so if she will be going for radiotherapy, that time there will be slight mutation in the DNA, and after that if she will be having child, that time it may be slight problematic for the child beta, but not totally. Okay. No, before birth somatic change, like a father before, when he was young, he was in college, he met with an accident, now his 2 fingers got cut. Now after that he got married, so that was only a somatic change. So the child will be having all the fingers. There is no chance, no, only genetically. If like understand that the father and mother, they both were normal, but before marriage the father met with some chemical change, means the chemical change in environment means he might have taken some chemical and that muted the DNA. Now after that he got married and now he is having he is having a son or a daughter, then definitely the mutation will affect the child. Then definitely that part mutation. Physical is somatic, understood? Yes beta, and both are same. Physical is somatic. Okay, genetic part will be no, physical is somatic, don't go with that. Physical is what? Somatic अरे यार, somatic and physical, if today evening class I am going to explain about this, because I am seeing still some part is exactly confusion beta. That part I am going to explain. What is exactly somatic? So I am having class today. It will mute. Some of the cancer disease are transferable. I'll talk about specific type of cancer which is exactly transferred beta. Okay.